Hey everybody, it is Nekia and Nichelle with Justin Life, and we're taking things in real time, real person, and doing a fireside chat. Because guess what? I got the fire inside of me, and so does Ryan Destiny, my guest for today. Hi.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining me. I got a chance to watch Fire Inside.
You did.
I did.
How did you feel?
A lot of things,
Yes.
right? So the first thing that was really, really interesting to me about the film is here you are, a singer, right? And I watched a video of you with the real Claressa Shields, and she said when she found out that you were going to play her, she said, "How?"
Yes. Yeah. Literally, yes.
So tell me about the fire inside that you had to put out literally and show her your goatness and how you were, how you were going to like kill this role.
Yeah. I mean, it started with a lot of fear, I was definitely scared. Oh my God, yes. I was so scared. I didn't think I was going to get it when I went in for the audition.
Okay.
And yeah, I think it was good to have that fear, and I think I used it to my advantage, and it was something that I had to just break through literally, and the fear was all pushed aside to get to where I needed to be, which was this incredible beast of an athlete. And yeah, I'm glad that she finally came around to it, and after she saw it for the first time, she cried, and she absolutely loved it and was super impressed with my boxing. And I was like, yes, like literally that's all I cared about and wanted. So it was a full circle moment.
Well, one thing that was to me shocking is you had never gotten in a fight before.
No. Ever.
Never put up the dukes, as one would say. That's so old school. But talk to me about what you did to prepare mentally, physically, and emotionally for this role.
Yeah, well, I trained for months when we started back in 2020.
Okay.
Of course, the pandemic happened, so we got shut down. And so 2 years later, 2 years after that, when we started back up again, I trained for another set of months. And I think it was really important for me to have that time because, like I said before, I really understood how rare of a role that this was. And I think that the pandemic only put things into perspective even more for me, which made me want to get way more deep into it. Like, so I felt like I had to just fall completely into the role in a more vulnerable and raw way. And I think the time just helped me mentally and emotionally get more into it. And then the physicality of it was really challenging for me because I'm really not athletic. Like I did not play sports. So I trained with my amazing boxing trainer, and he treated me like a fighter and not an actor. And it got me in that correct mindset that I needed, and I had to gain weight. I went on a diet. I had to gain my muscle and get my stamina up for the long days on set where I have to do the takes over and over and over again. And I was completely prepared. So I was really proud of myself in the end because I didn't even know my body could do that. It was like, oh my gosh.
Right.
Wait, maybe I am great. I don't know.
Maybe this is a possibility, right? So one of the things and overarching themes that I really notice in sports films is this we all seem to go, especially if you're a passionate person, right? We all seem to have this fire inside of us.
Yes.
And it all, even though it's in different genres and different areas, it all resonates as the same thing. So in acting and in music, where is like do you feel that you also have a fire inside, and was there something about Claressa's story that you resonated with?
Yeah, I think that us being the same age and from the same place definitely played a big part in me being able to connect with her on a different level. And I mean, I understood what it was like being a black woman and having to kind of just really fight your way into a lot of these spaces, you know. And I really connected with that on a very, very deep level. And I think that was easily one of the things that was probably the most important for me to be able to incorporate when it came to me getting in her mind and her mindset and going into different scenes, also knowing that too. So I think in my fields that I dabble in when it comes to music and acting, I definitely feel like we have to work twice as hard. And I think that is something that is very clear in Claressa's story as well. And she just inspires me because she's never backed down from a challenge, you know. So I think that's something that we have to keep telling ourselves continuously, for sure.
Is that something that you took away from acting as her in this film, to be, because she's a tough cookie.
She's a tough cookie.
Okay.
Very.
I mean, she cussing folks out. She she letting people know, no,
Yes.
we ain't doing this. So,
Yeah.
And she was a huge, and this is what I absolutely love. At such a young age, she was a huge advocate for herself.
Yes.
So, was there messaging or things about Claressa's personality that you are still taking with you today?
Absolutely. She, like you said, how she is, it wasn't that movie. Like, that's her today times 10. You know, she is somebody that exudes this confidence that you just want some of. Like, you just want to take some of it, because she is just really unapologetic in that energy. And I think we need to have more of that. I know for me, I definitely do. And being someone that is a bit more reserved and walks a little bit, you know, more careful around certain things and not wanting to make other people comfortable, I think she is the perfect example of the complete opposite of that. And I've definitely taken a lot of that with me. And even with being able to do this role, which is something that I didn't think I could do, and now I'm on the other side of it, and it gives you a boost of confidence for sure. And she definitely has inspired me to move a certain way, to talk to myself a certain way. And that is just something that I think everyone should take away from her.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree. Because when I was looking at her character and how she really, like you said, unapologetically advocated for herself, I was like, ooh, I need to get into my therapist and really talk and unpack
No,
my
literally, yes.
people pleasing issues that I have. Because
Exactly.
Claressa was not pleasing nobody but
No,
herself.
yeah.
And so I love that about her, having her own voice and advocating for herself. Talk to me though about one thing that I noticed is everything was set in like 2012, the early 2010s,
Yeah.
and we were still facing today women's sports and the disparities there, right?
Yeah.
So I would love to get your insight and your thoughts on, did you hear that Whoopi Goldberg is now launching
Yeah.
an all women sport
network, yeah.
network? So this is something that I felt has always been needed. What's your thoughts and takes on it, especially seeing as though you have acted out those disparities in
Yeah.
Fire Inside?
Yeah, I think it's incredible. I'm so excited about what's happened in the last year or two with women's sports, and people finally coming to the realization that it is just as exciting as watching men in sports. Like, I promise. I promise you it is. And people are finally coming around to it, you know? And so something like what Whoopi is doing is so great. And I'm just excited to see it grow even more. And I think women are such a force. And when you put women in the world of sports, it just elevates it even more. And so I'm really excited for the future of it. I'm very optimistic about it. And I'm hoping that this movie just adds to that. You know, after seeing a story like this, it will inspire you even more to just be more interested in and go to the games, go to the boxing matches, go, like, literally see him for yourself in person, and understand that it's just incredible to see them be so dominant in that world, in whichever sport it may be. So I'm just really excited because it's changed a lot. It has a lot more to go, but it's definitely growing and gradually making progress.
Yeah, and we're gradually seeing respect for women that have, really put in the work and not only earn their spot, but deserve their spot.
Deserve it,
right?
for sure.
So one thing I also noticed too, watching this film, is at a point, right? Claressa did all the things. She trained all night, ate right, and then you get to the point you win, and then it's like, what now?
What now? Yeah.
Or you feel like a lull has happened within your journey of what you're trying to reach, and that's ultimate, I guess, maybe fame, success, whatever her why is. Throughout your journey, has there ever been a moment where you're like, I did all this and Lord Jesus, when is it gonna be my turn?
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily. I think as I've gotten older, I've realized that it's kind of never ending.
That's a horrible realization.
It is, but I think it's also about perspective and trying to look at it as a good thing, that you kind of will always, grow in so many different areas and reinvent yourself a lot of the times too. And I think that the main focus that a lot of us think about is just like the end goal of a lot of things, and it's really not about that. And I think that's what life tries to teach us over and over again in a lot of different ways. And when I was younger, I thought I needed to be at this point at this age, and it's just not like that. It's not. So I think as you keep going through different moments of your life, you realize what God is trying to teach you, and I think that for me is something that I keep trying to remember and remind myself of, because it can get hard and you can get off track. Of course we want the respect and we want people to see us in a certain light, but at the end of the day, it's about how you look at yourself and how proud you are of yourself and how far you've gotten. So I think that's just the moral of the entire story. Definitely.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that I was able to get you on camera, because that was super important to me. I know my time has run out, but I do want to congratulate you on making Elle's Hollywood Rising list.
Thank you.
One thing that you were quoted saying is, I want to be part of things that push the culture forward and touch people. Do you think that you've reached those things?
I think that I've never been more proud of a project than this one. And I want to continue to do things that make me feel this way, that make me proud to show it off, that make me want to show more people and feel like I'm doing something that matters and means something to people. I think this film, a lot of people are seeing the importance of it, and that means the absolute world to me. And the fact that I'm a part of a project like that is something that is a dream in itself and a goal of mine that I had. So I think at least right now I am very, very happy with with the outcome, and I think this is something that pushes the culture forward and touches people. Definitely.
Absolutely. Thank you so much
for
taking the time to have a fireside chat with me.
I love it.
For The Fire Inside, which is in theaters December 25th on Christmas Day. So ho your way to the theater.
Exactly.
To the movie theater, okay? Thank you once again, Ryan.
Thank you. I appreciate you.